Okay, today's the 7th of June 2023. So here we are starting another day planting vetiver grass, the bamboo supergrass, the vetiver nail of the earth, the anchor of the soil, the miracle grass. And this very steep slope here, we've got a new project, and this is the second one in a valley. We'll be videoing all the processes of it from the beginning to the total completion of these very steep slopes. Now you can see this angle here. These are retainer walls, the previous method of ugly, expensive concrete walls. Now due to the weather, see right next to it here where we're working, it collapsed. There is a landslide. This is called a container wall, a concrete landslide. Due to the global warming. Now these are now happening more frequently. Now if I just zoom in, because normally they got a shelf life of 20 years, 30, some are 10, some are 7. Now they're 4 and 3 years. I'm even hearing about people with 4 years. And then even the very expensive high quality engineering ones, which are very few in between, they are vulnerable, subject to their, if there's weather, the worst weather in the history. They've never experienced downpours and the extreme heat and cold and droughts. It affects the microflora and the green vegetation. That makes unstabilization. That's why there's landslides now they never did before. Like there's concrete, there's a standard expensive millions of dollars worth of millions of ringgits worth of value in those repairs, and a long time in the actual repair of it. But these days with the extreme weather, right, there's my engineers there climbing and preparing for planting. So what I'm saying is today, the water, the rainfall, the weather is so unpredictable. It's so extreme, right? It's so extreme that repairing a landslide can take double the time, and plus there's ongoing erosion that's taken place and a lot of extra expense and massive over budgets. I've spoken to many engineers and many clients that's wanted to get their landslide fixed for 2 years, and they still haven't done it because of the cost, and plus the weather. And it's the last 5 years that we've had this extreme weather. Now this view that I'm seeing here now, see, I just was at the far left hand side, now we see. So this is still a very, there's one of my top guys up there. So you can see now where he is, and look at the size of that slope. This is still a very deep slope, and you know, right behind us is residential. Okay, look. So this is very dangerous for anyone with a major landslide. That's why this is a natural. See the ridge that I've planted there across that in the middle of the screen there? That's all vetiver grass. They're all planted strategically. They're bulbs from pots, and a lot of them have already got massive amounts of bulbs and bamboo shoots, and we've deliberately planted those for multiple reasons of you know, of securing and anchoring, because the vetiver is famous for slowing down and minimizing. See, look at this, the next landslide is going to be in that area there between the big orange one. That's the first slope we did. That's the #1 slope. I'll be doing a video on that tomorrow. Incredible progress on a very major, massive, that was a 1,400 cubic meter slope. Okay, so this is just as high and steeper, but this is a smaller one, but it's very, very steep at the top 2 slopes. So this video is to share that there's so many advantages of vetiver technology, a solution for landslide stabilization. Now we've started a hedge, okay, it's an anchor hedge we call it, along this gutter. Now naturally we adjust our system all to suit the environment. This one is actually got a big gutter, okay? So we still don't want all the areas where there's no canvas, and even where there is canvas, there's still mudslides under it with big rains. And that's where it's all, that canvas is also deteriorated and needs fully repaired, because they've got a shelf life, especially with the vegetation, and especially with the heat, the weather. Once again, it's extreme conditions which causes the deterioration of these canvases. Are got to be replaced, and they're expensive, and people don't replace them, and then that's when you get massive amounts of mudslides underneath and worsening conditions, and that's where you get even bigger and nastier slide flow. Okay, so what we've done here, we planted the very heavy hedge with big bulbs in pots and thousands of bamboo cuttings. Now they're going to all start greening up, okay, because it's been very dry. There's still plenty of moisture. They'll all become very bright green and start shooting over the next couple of weeks. Here's a part of today's planting. So we've got all these, we call them nails of the earth. All these are nails of the earth. All of these pots, okay, and these very established bamboo with all this beautiful young leaf. See, that greenness will shoot all these. See these ones here, the green now? They'll all start turning green. We only planted them recently. And you can see those two there among the fence. Look how green and lush they are. It's a different moisture level than the bottom here. There's one there in the middle of the... So this is a very serious... We planted literally thousands along this. Because I was mentioning before, when all that rubble and dirt and soil falls, it fills up, and it can block up the waterway. And if this gutter wasn't here, then it can cause a massive amount of problems. It could be roads, it could be someone's house, it could be livestock, it could be literally humans. So having a big hedge, like you've seen on all my other videos, we're up to 1,800 videos on YouTube. Okay, 1,800 next week. And then we will have our 2,000 by the 1st of July. We're passionate, and we've got a vision for YouTube to share, educate, because we're so inspired by the amount of appreciation that we've been getting, especially when opposition, is it competition or opposition? Well, opposition tells us that they've learnt from us what to do, and now they're doing what we're doing. So we inspired and created opposition. Is it competition? Well, there's so much room for so many of us. I don't even call it competition. We have got a unique USP that no one can beat us on. But we're just thankful, because we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for the interest of I would say, over 100 people around the world having a larger vision, expanding the commercial vision. Now, let me share something. When the client has got hundreds of thousands of vetiver covering, see the one he's planting on that ridge there? Now, concrete retainer walls cost millions or hundreds of thousands. They've got a shelf life of 1 year, 5 years, 7 years, whatever. These days, no guarantee. There's no guarantee. There's massive cost and time, and then you've got an ugly scar. So then you've got the liability of maintenance, and then you've got the disaster of them collapsing. So that's the future. That is the destiny of a slope. They're ugly. There's a scar. They cause extra runoff. That water has to go somewhere. Normally the nature would absorb it and distribute it and feed the jungle. Now it's not. This is a man-made slope because they built houses here. So it's a man-made disaster. Now you're messing around with nature. This is the cost you pay. So what do you get for vetiver? About 30 to 40% cheaper than concrete. Then you got a living solution, a living green, evergreen solution that's got a return of investment. The owner has an option to sell that vetiver. It's an ongoing harvesting of twice to 3 times a year. They can cut and utilize their asset, their living green asset, and put into other slopes and utilize their colleagues and friends and family, and they can sell, they can give, they can do whatever they choose. But there's no concrete of return of investment. It's disaster, it's expensive. It has to be necessary with a lot of situations. But the external edges and all the areas where concrete is not necessary absolutely for strategic reasons, vetiver can take place. In fact, the worst of the worst slopes, I got a prediction about 90%, okay, that's my opinion, 90% of slopes can be completely stabilized and repaired with vetiver technology. And that's where you need literally tens of millions or hundreds of millions of pieces and a strategic program over 6 to 12 months of planning, subject to the size, of course. But what I'm getting at, with any slides, small slides in the preparation and the planting phase, all of them can be repaired, and they're all powerful experiences to adjust to major slopes without concrete. And when it matures in 6 to 12 months, and when it really matures in 18, then absolutely 98% no soil erosion. No one can guarantee about the percentage of landslide, but it's absolutely high percentage, there'll be none. And if there is a slide, just because of extreme conditions and previous conditions of the subsoil, then it's only very isolated and very jigsaw puzzle, we call it, puzzled. It was isolated zones. It's never going to be a big one because it's just too many anchors. The roots are the nail of the earth, and they're deep. They go deep, deep, deep down, 3 meters, 4 meters. That's why when you see us fertilize, we use a liquid organic fertilizer from SOS Organic Fertilizer. Okay, while fertilizing, it's a fast tracking. It's creating the roots are deeper, the grass grows longer and faster, and there's more shoots. Now, not even without fertilizer, this is one of the most hardiest, fastest growing, powerful bamboo grasses in the world. But because we are engineering, we're bioengineering, this is a very, very important, look how ugly that is. And you wait to see how this is going to look. Away from the native shrubs there, which will remain, we might have to cut through them and make a few hedgerows, again, leaving where we can leave. Because the vetiver is far more greener. It's all year. This one will dry out in the hot seasons. It's not everlasting. It's even fire hazard, this type of bushba, okay? And once again, in extreme weather, they look dry and ugly, but the vetiver, because of deep roots, it never goes dry. It remains green all year, especially after the first 12 months, when the roots go at least 1 meter to 1.5 meters deep, then they go to 2 meters in 1.5 year, roughly like that. So this is a miracle grass. Now, here's one of those bullets. We call it this is a bamboo, a pot cluster. Okay, I just love to show this one. I did one the other day in the same place here on this slope. But I like this one, it's very interesting. There is a bamboo piece that's cut there, and have a look at this incredible big bulb, this air bulb with these amazing established roots coming from this little knuckle, this little bamboo piece, okay, from here, okay, and you can see there's another little bamboo cutting, and it's been trimmed there, and there's shooting all these incredible air roots. So you imagine when we plant that, and we plant it up to here, then it's up to here deep, right? Then I look at the anchor roots, the strongest roots of the world. This is what you call the nail of the earth. There's, look at a little shoot, another shoot there. So when we plant this one, we're planting about 12 or 15 individual plants in this one little cluster. Now there is a classic example. Look how beautiful that looks like. So there is the bamboo cutting. It's dry at the top, okay, because it was cut there. All the moisture and energy went into the bamboo knuckle. There's the knuckle. There's the knuckle, okay? And there is the roots. Now, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to pull this off, okay? Look at the picture of it there. Okay, it's quite tough. Look there, I've just broke it off. There is the little, forgive me, I'll just get it zoomed in. There is where the thumb is where I pulled it off. There is the bamboo piece where I pulled it off. And there is what you call an established bulb with a established hard bulb with air roots. I call them air roots because they're not in the soil, are they? That come from our... Now, that bamboo piece, this is from the bamboo. It's got its own bamboo piece. Look at this. One. These are a mature. 2, 3. And it's shooting up top. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5. Then even that one bamboo piece, then there's another shoot here, which is going to be the same as that shoot. Now, this was an air root, so it's bamboo growing bamboo on top of bamboo. I remember I got a very famous video that's about 30,000 views in 1 year for Vetiver. It's a lot. And it shows bamboo growing bamboo on top of bamboo. And this is a classic example. There's the one we just pulled out from. And look at all this lush, this one little pot. Look at the size of my hand here. This one pot. You can see here, I want to put it back because there's the solution. There is the nail of the earth in my hand. This is bioengineering. And remember the principles. Does that slope create a return, an ROI, a return of investment? No, it does not. There is a liability. There's liabilities. There's maintenance. It's sight. The visual is ugly. It gets worse and worse every day to a point that it's major maintenance, and then you've got the unpredictable slide. That's the future. That is the ugly. Now, it's absolutely no necessary. We have got new technology. This is not new. This was before concrete. God made this. This is a creation of God, the universe that made this for God's garden. God is the greatest gardener in the world. He created all plants, and there's a reason for everything. And now this has now been monetized, or this has now been commercialized, and it's well recognized for 20, 30 years. The World Bank and so many pioneers in the industry. It's all on Google. Powerful YouTube. It's all on YouTube. Okay, so we are the early pioneers of promoting the Vetiver bamboo grass. Very little people in the beginning ever acknowledged it as a bamboo grass. And it's always been a Vetiver bamboo grass. So once again, we thank you. We are Vetiver Grass King SABAH, our YouTube, and we're international, and we are Vetiver Technology Solutions. Any inquiries are welcome. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for liking. We've got so many videos to view. Once again, we've got 1,800 now, and ever going every day, because we love what we're doing. This is the solution and the answer for the needs of soil and water conservation in the world today. For droughts and floods, this is the key. This is the answer. This will help prevent and slow down global warming. That's a fact. That's what I believe. There's so much data and evidence of this, and so, you know, on a large commercial scale, on a global awareness program that we're going to be doing on YouTube. The king of all media sites is the king of grass, and we are the Vetiver Grass King SABAH International, and we are Vetiver Technology Solutions. Thank you so much. Ugly scar costs money once again. Vetiver grass, this is an ever-growing harvesting of 3 to 4 times a year, return of investment, so you get your returns back not only 5 times, 10 times, over the years, 20, 50 times. How can you compare? Why would you even consider? Why would you even consider? And you can always get the job done by putting the money, half the cost of it would get the job done in these days, even though right now we're in a position of that demand is greater than supply, but we're scaling up our operations, so there's plenty of Vetiver from us globally, because we've got the skills to scale up and nursery up for projects, which what we're doing, because it sometimes takes years to get in preparation, or a year in preparation for tens of millions of strategic places at certain locations. We've got the stock in SABAH here to export already, large numbers. Big numbers, but we've got projects that are too far for export. So we're, with our skills and knowledge, we're the ones which are planning nurseries and offering a complete solution service in vetiver engineering, bioengineering services. All inquiries are welcome. Once again, thank you so much. Here's guys planting on this very steep ridge here.